Now at 6, we are remembering the lives lost on this day 5 years ago when 14 students and 3 staff members were shot and killed at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The Parkland massacre shook all of us in South Florida and across the country.
The city of Parkland invited people to Pine Trails Park today to remember the 17 lives lost. There is a memorial at the park that displays photos of the victims.
5 years later, their faces, their names, their smiles that will forever be imprinted in our memories of who they were before they became victims of such cruelty. Good evening. I'm Felicia Rodriguez.
And I'm Tiffany Kenny. We have live team coverage tonight. Our Terry Parker has a closer look at the new safety measures one local school district is testing. Angela Rozier joins us live near Marjory Stoneman High School.
But we begin with our co-anchor, Todd McDermott. He is live in Parkland, where the community is remembering the victims. Todd?
Felicia, Tiffany, Valentine's Day 2018, a day that changed everything for the city of Parkland, for the state of Florida, and for many of us who remember what happened that day, and many of us who are parents. Again, 14 students, 3 staff members at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School murdered in a mass shooting carried out by a former student. Tonight, a remembrance of, as you said, those victims and the lives lost, the lives taken away from everyone that day. Tonight in Parkland, the city is hosting this commemorative event. There is music, there is reflection. We expect to hear some words from the clergy as well. Also here, there are 17 likenesses of the victims, each decorated with a balloon and with greenery in tribute to those lives that we lost. A memorial also is near the school entrance at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, just a mile or two from here. Many today leaving flowers, praying and reflecting on that tragic day. In these last 5 years, we've seen students and victims and parents all become activists in the names of the dead to make sure a tragedy like this can somehow be prevented and never happen again. More than 4 years after the shooting, as you know, Nikolas Cruz pleaded guilty to the crimes. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. This day, again, is about remembering those 17 people we lost, remembering their lives and what happened on this Valentine's Day 5 years ago. The memory's still fresh, especially standing here in Pine Trails Park, where a vigil was held the day after the shootings. I want to go to our Angela Rozier, who is near Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, where that memorial was noted today. Ange?
That's right, Todd. As you say, this community still remembering and honoring those 17 people killed, 17 people injured. They're also remembering and grieving with the victims' family members.
Alyssa Al-Hadaf.
This is one of several events taking place 5 years later, remembering the 17 victims of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School massacre.
It's the love for my beautiful daughter, Gina, and remembering her bright smile, her kindness and her compassion that she brought to the world. We have to make sure that that is not forgotten.
It's at Eagles Haven, which is a wellness center created after the shooting where members of the community can go for support. Tuesday's special ceremony in remembrance of the victims included a Spreading the Love candle lighting and dove release ceremony.
It's very sad, you know. I mean, I see Alex in every one of them, and all the 17 in each dove, and I'm wondering, are they going to come back? Where are they now? You know, and as I wonder where Alex is and all the 17.
And throughout the day, people continue to stop by this memorial here outside the school. I'm told earlier today by one of the deputies, there's also a second memorial inside the school on the school grounds. Earlier today, members of the victim's family as well as students gathered there to remember on their own. Folks I talked to earlier today say they will never forget. Todd, back to you.
Angela Rozier. Angela, thank you. We should note that it was a day of service taken part by many of the students today to honor their former classmates and those who came before in Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. Tonight, we now know the Palm Beach County School District has a pilot program to place metal detectors in at least 4 high schools. Our investigative reporter, Terry Parker, takes a look at that program, and Terry, also at the challenges those schools now face.
Right, Todd. For years, the Palm Beach County School Board has discussed putting in metal detectors to keep weapons out of schools. And now a pilot program is almost set to begin. In just a few weeks, 4 high schools will begin using metal detectors. They are John I. Leonard High School, Palm Beach Gardens High School, Seminole Ridge High School, and Palm Beach Lakes High School. The equipment has been ordered, and once it arrives, staff will get trained, and then the pilot program will begin, likely in the next few weeks. Board Chair Frank Barbieri tells me the concern is logistics. How do you get thousands of students through the detectors in time for their first class? That's why this pilot program should show whether this idea is doable or not. Todd?
All right, Terry, thank you. Terry Parker. And again, we're not only focusing on the victims in the 5-year anniversary, but also what's been done to protect students since and what still needs to be done. That's what this program is all about tonight. Now, many of the changes that have been implemented are for emergency situations in our schools, like the active assailant response policy, which will be included in the school safety bill that will be presented to the legislature when the next session begins next month. If approved and signed by Governor DeSantis, this new legislation would include policy suggestions for emergency response crews for items that include establishing an incident commander, someone to oversee all operations at the scene. That person would also appoint someone responsible for recording personnel, movements, actions taken, and times. Again, if approved, it would have to be implemented by October 1st, 2023. That's this fall. And as you can tell by some of what I said, much of it reflects some of what problems were in Uvalde, Texas during that shooting. There are still flaws in the response at Florida schools right now. In the wake of Parkland, a safety commission was formed, the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Safety Commission. Our morning anchor, Aaron Guy, spoke with the head of that commission about what still needs to be accomplished.
Drive down to Stoneman Douglas High School and call 911 today. Your call is going to get answered at the Coral Springs Police Department. The Coral Springs Police Department does not police in the city of Parkland. They're going to transfer your call from the Coral Springs Communication Center over to the Broward County Sheriff's Office Communication Center. You're going to tell your story twice, and there's a really good chance that your call is going to get disconnected on transfer, and there's going to be delays. So nothing's changed.
Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri is the head of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Public Safety Commission. He says the 911 system has been scrutinized for a long time in Broward County. Here's how it works. In Broward, there's an Office of Regional Communications and Technology. The county owns the hardware and the technology of the 911 system. The sheriff's office is contracted to staff and run it.
It's a multifaceted problem. They've had radio problems, interoperability problems, the tower problems have became infamous down there trying to build out the new radio system.
The commission says that the sheriff's office should be in control because that model seems to work in a number of other counties.
The core of the problem in Broward County is that people don't have the right relationships, they don't get along, and there's too much fighting that has gone on down there. That's really the core of the problem.
But the Safety Commission can only make recommendations. He says the solution is up to county leaders. Aaron Guy, WPBF 25 News.
As we note that there are fixes that still need to be made, that the problem isn't solved as far as protecting our children in our schools, steps have been taken. Here's a look at some of what has been done since Valentine's Day 2018 here in Parkland. The installation of a new radio system to improve the Broward 911 dispatch, local government radio policy. It allows the system to allow only critical or public safety priority radio communication when necessary. A computer-aided dispatch system. The Closest Unit Response Initiative was also launched. It allows the closest, capable, and available frontline vehicle connected to law enforcement to respond in any life-threatening situation. There's also the Fire Station Alerting Initiative, which helps fire rescue respond to all emergencies. Finally, the 911 call system improvements, which focus on making calls more efficient. Again, a few of the enhancements made with a more than $78 million spent in Broward County since Valentine's Day 2018. You'll learn more about how the families of the victims have spent the past 5 years, both honoring the lives lost and pushing for significant change to protect our children. We have all that on our website, WPBF.com, and on our WPBF 25 News app. I have to tell you, Felicia, being here today, as I know you sitting in the studio, it all comes rushing back. I remember them telling me that we had lost 17 people. I remember saying the words on the air to you and Tiffany in the studio. It all comes rushing back, but so much has changed and so much still needs to change. I'll send it back to you now.